sure all the gauges are live. The power, the bottom corner power over there is come up. Now you can do the other side. Okay. This power is live. Instruments on.
So Chris is undoing lines. No Agenda and Riker were on the other side of the pier from us, and they're both off. Our the wind is blowing our bow off the pier.
You talking to me?
No, I'm talking to the
Camera, okay.
camera. Tell me when. We're like sideways. What do we do? Chris! We're in 16 feet of water. Underwood. So Riker and No Agenda are in front of us. I was a little concerned because our bow was like this against the so our stern, I don't know, but it was, the wind was blowing pretty well and had our everything turned. Usually what happens is that I'm on the front and Chris is on the back, and he comes up and he does the stern ropes and then comes up and starts the engines, and then I do the mid cleat, and so we don't get this, moving like we did today. But it's okay. He got it. Maybe a little concerned, but when am I not worried? Really. So our plan was to leave at 9 o'clock this morning, and then we all were ready, so we left a little early. We've got 8 locks to go through today. Is that right, Chris?
Yes.
And
But several of them are flights, I think.
yeah, some of them are flights. So we are, Chris is doing all the fenders. So we have 8 locks to do today. And I found out from a lady, Carol, at the barbecue we went to the other night, that there is like a resort kind of area. It used to be a campground. She's redone it. Some billionaire's wife has redone it, I think. She went there as a child. So she decided to buy it and restore it. And we're gonna stop there for lunch, and it's right by one of the locks. So that's the plan. We're in 40 feet of water, so we're good. All right, why is it veer? Oh, I like this steering. It was the wheel. It was the steering wheel sending us that way.
Caffeine lock. We just came this way. It's a cute little lock thing here with a little park in the middle of a park. Most of these are Parks Canada. And we're gonna walk up this road here. As you can see, everybody going to have lunch. This is down the street. We just stopped here to have lunch. And then this is the exit of the lock, and I'm on a bridge that swings out of the way. And there's our boats, and a boat pulling up here on the blue line because he wants to go through the lock. And you can see the little park over here. It is really nice here. It's cool, the wind's breezy. And see the girls walking up. And the road continues off into the Canadian wilderness, probably going to the North Pole over there. Here's more of that little town. And there's the water. It's just gorgeous up here. The trees, the water. Other side of those trees is a lock we came. We just walked across the bridge over to have lunch. Where are we having lunch?
I think it's here. Well, the lunch we had there was excellent. Great service, great food, and they even have an ice cream shop there on their grounds. And so,
Well, the grounds were nice too. It's very, very pretty. It's not a campground anymore. It's like a little mini resort. So it was a nice place to stop.
absolutely, we walked around some, and it was a great little stop to take.
Very manicured.
And so we ended up, when we left that lock, Chaffee Lock, we headed into this area that was just gorgeous. Clear water and just wilderness, right?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of boathouses, if any, but I can remember, and people weren't out fishing everywhere, canoeing. It was just very isolated. You can see from these pictures, it was very pretty.
So we really enjoyed this section, and are so glad that we just are surprised. We would have missed all of this if it hadn't been for that bridge that was out on the Oswego Canal. We would have never come this direction, and I can't imagine this trip without it. It's been beautiful.
Yeah, it's hard to. The pictures don't do it justice, and it was just day after day of going through this lush forest in a beautiful stream with the geese and the ducks around, and doing a little fishing, and it was awesome. It was just awesome. It makes me kind of sick to the stomach when you think how you would have missed this. So it was very nice. And the water was very clear. You could see all the aquatic vegetation in it, and you could also see all the rocks that were just outside of the channel. So you had to really, be on your toes driving the boat there, because you had very little margin of error. You would be up on the rocks.
As you know, we pass under many bridges, but the bridges in this area were so pretty. They were just part of the landscape.
Yeah, they're very minimalist, and they look like they blended right in, and this one is a gorgeous one.
So we left our Jones Falls dockage, or mooring, this morning. We were at the lock mooring. We left about 8 o'clock, got to sleep in a little bit. Beautiful day. There's a guy canoeing coming up here. We have 6 locks today, I think, and then we're going to be in Kingston, Ontario. We're going to stay at a marina for a few days in Kingston. And once we leave Kingston, we're headed on the Tren-severn Waterway. I did some calculations last night, I did some research, and there's 43 locks on the Tren-severn Waterway. So we have a lot to go through. I'm just going to enjoy the ride.
This whole area is not really made for big boats, and we're getting close to Kingston here, and we had to go through this little bridge, and it was tight. I wouldn't want to have like a catamaran and say, "Oh, let's go do the Rideau Canal on a catamaran," because you're not going to fit through this bridge.
It was tight. Well, we got through the last set of locks that we just did. It was one lock and then a flight of two, and the landscape suddenly changed. It's no more rocky. We're getting close to Kingston, Ontario. We've got another set of locks to go through today, and then we'll be in Kingston. What a gorgeous journey we've had. We were able to miss all the smoke from the wildfires. We have had glorious weather, just a few days of sprinkles. Some colder days at the beginning, but now we're getting nice and warm. And the water temperature is increasing too. It's up to 77 degrees today. I said when it reaches 80, I might go in. Maybe.
Somebody stole the I in Kingston, but you get the idea. The boats are right there. There's a train and a train station and a trolley, which will probably be on in a little while. And then a Capitol building, it looks like. Prince George Hotel. So this is the right smack downtown in Kingston, and we just walked up the street, and I'm not sure it gets any better than this. This is awesome.
We had dinner at a rooftop restaurant, and we each had a fishbowl drink, and we thought, this is our celebration. We have finished this whole section that we started in Troy, New York.
Yeah, it took us 3 weeks and 2 days to get from New York to Kingston.
Yeah. So we were glad to be there, and we were having a really good time. Then we watched some live music. They were playing that night. Yeah, right in the square, right by the marina.
We had a good time there. We were there 2 or 3 days, I guess, and had some good food while we were there, good drinks, wandered around town. The marina was very nice and convenient.
Yeah, great shopping.
And then we left, and we were in Lake Ontario at that point, and I wanted to go fast for a while. We've been creeping along at 8 miles an hour for almost a month, so Spin took on Riker took some pictures of us speeding up and passing by them. He complained about my wake.
So we're on anchor. We haven't been on anchor in a while, but we're on anchor today, and we got on anchor early. And Chris is about to go fishing. Chris is about to go fishing. And this is supposedly the walleye capital of the world, of the Great Lakes. And he is excited. So excited that he
is drifting, but he's about to get going. We talked to some people in the marina at Kingston, and he said that this was the walleye capital of the Great Lakes, this bay here. So we found a anchorage just off the bay, and there he goes. While we were on anchor on this bay, No Agenda was cooking dinner for us, and they had fajitas. So Chris had the dinghy out, and so he took me over to No Agenda, and they went and got Swen and Katya on Riker and took them as well. And right as we were about to do that, a huge storm came through that afternoon, so we had to postpone it just a little bit. But it was fine. We ended up having it at dinner, and it was really great. And so Chris came back to pick me up and take me back. And once we got back to our boat, I looked back, and there was a double rainbow right on top of No Agenda. So it was beautiful that night.
I don't think I've ever seen a more substantial rainbow. It was just so dense of color. And when do you ever see a rainbow that's like side to side?
It was such a pretty... This is why we like anchoring. This is the kind of thing I don't think we would have seen in a marina.
No, you have to be out in the wilderness to see something like that, or some building be blocking it. But it was... And the picture does not do it justice.
Well, we left our anchorage in Long Point, I think. We're on Lake Ontario. We're behind some islands. And we had a little bit of a storm come through, but we weathered it well, and it was very short. Had a beautiful rainbow, double rainbow last night. So and we heading out. It's about 8 o'clock. We left about 8 o'clock this morning, and we are headed towards Trent, Ontario. We plan to stay there a couple of days before we go into the Tren-severn Waterway. But it's nice and lush here, lots of trees, houses on either side. I guess they're in Lake Ontario, but they're not exposed to the lake, which is good. We are having a good cruise though. Chris did some fishing yesterday, and hopefully he's going to do some more fishing as we progress.
Okay, this is the little inlet that we come in to go into the Tren-severn Waterway, which is back that way. So, and you can see this marina is right here on the inlet. And it's a beautiful marina here. It's very nice. And the amenities are probably the nicest of any marina we've ever been in. It is super, super nice. It's like a resort, bathrooms and showers and free laundry. And they have like a captain's lounge with chairs and a TV and a fireplace. It's very nice. There's Mike. It's kind of industrial around it, but there is a grocery store just across the street that we went to, and several restaurants. It's very nice. The docks are well kept.
Here we are. We're at the entrance of the Tren-severn Waterway. So we've had a wonderful time so far in Canada. Just beautiful scenery, and we are so ready for the next adventure on the Tren-severn. It's supposedly one of the highlights of the trip.
Of the loop.
Of the loop. So thank you again for joining us. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the like button and leave us your comments. We love getting comments. And join us next week as we start our travels along the Tren-severn Waterway. And if you would, please stay tuned for Chris's next episode of View Out the Shower Window.
Good morning.
Good morning.
another view from the shower window this morning, Lake Ontario. Just a little wilderness shot from Lake Ontario in the North Channel, about halfway from Kingston to Trenton. Very pretty.